One sentence, just one sentence from my wife shattered 10 years of marriage in front of everyone. But what happened afterward left her pleading for a second chance she would never receive. My name is Daniel Carter, and at 38, I believed I had a happy life. I owned a small construction company, worked hard every day, and did everything I could to provide for my wife, Rachel. She was 35, beautiful, outgoing, and loved being around people. We had been married for 10 years. Looking back now, the warning signs had been there for months. Rachel had grown distant. She spent more time with her friends and less time with me. Every time I suggested a date night, she found another excuse. Still, I kept telling myself she was simply busy. One Saturday evening, Rachel invited me to a party hosted by one of her closest friends. The event took place at a luxurious rooftop venue overlooking the city skyline. Almost everyone there belonged to Rachel's social circle. The moment we arrived, something felt off. Rachel barely stayed beside me. She greeted everyone with excitement, laughed loudly, and hugged people as if she hadn't seen them in years. Meanwhile, I felt more like an outsider than her husband. Several guests gave me awkward looks as though they knew something I didn't. Even so, I tried to enjoy the evening. A few hours later, slow music began playing, and couples made their way to the dance floor. I walked over to Rachel with a smile. "Dance with me?" She hesitated for a moment before finally agreeing. As we danced, I wrapped one arm around her waist. For a brief second, it felt like old times. I thought maybe all we needed was more time together. Then I leaned in, hoping to give my wife a simple kiss. Rachel immediately turned her head away, and at first I assumed she was teasing me. I laughed quietly and tried again. That's when she looked straight into my eyes and said loudly enough for everyone nearby to hear, "I'd rather kiss a complete stranger than kiss you." The music suddenly faded into the background. Several people around us froze. A few gasped. Others struggled to hide their smiles. I stood there speechless. 10 years together, thousands of memories, countless sacrifices, and that was how she chose to speak to me. Then something even worse happened. A man standing nearby laughed and raised his drink. Rachel laughed right along with him. In that instant, I realized this wasn't a joke. It was humiliation, planned humiliation. I calmly let go of her hand. The entire dance floor seemed to fall silent as I looked around the room. Many of her friends didn't seem surprised. They looked uncomfortable because they already knew. Rachel had apparently been making fun of me behind my back for months. I walked out of the party without saying another word. Rachel didn't come after me. She didn't call. She didn't even send a text. The following morning, I started making phone calls. A private investigator I had worked with years earlier agreed to help. Within 2 weeks, the truth came out. Rachel wasn't just disrespecting me, she was having an affair. The same man who had laughed at me on the dance floor was her boyfriend. What shocked me most wasn't the affair itself. It was how long it had been going on, nearly 8 months. While I worked 12-hour days trying to build our future, she had been spending time with him while mocking me to her friends. I quietly met with an attorney. I collected financial records, messages, photographs, and witness statements. Then I waited. A month later, Rachel hosted another gathering with many of the same friends. This time, I attended by choice. She looked surprised when she saw me. Her affair partner was there as well. He smirked the moment I walked in. Rachel confidently approached me. "I wasn't sure you'd come." I smiled. "Oh, I wouldn't have missed this." About 30 minutes later, I stood up and gently tapped a glass. Everyone turned to look at me. "I'd like to thank everyone for being here." Rachel looked confused. Then I connected my laptop to the large screen behind us. The room fell completely silent. Photos appeared, messages appeared, hotel reservations appeared. Proof after proof after proof. Rachel's face turned completely pale. Her boyfriend nearly dropped his drink. People stared in disbelief. Some of her closest friends immediately stepped away from her. Then I played a short video clip from the previous party. It captured the exact moment she had said, "I'd rather kiss a complete stranger than kiss you." The room became painfully silent. I looked at Rachel one last time. "You are right," I said calmly.